I love the Olympics. So much so that when they were on last year, I watched it every opportunity I could get, even just for 5 minutes, because at any point during the day, someone's canoe could have flipped and they'd wear it like a hat. However, did you know there's a list of forbidden, forgotten, and sports that were very questionable? Even my rubber chicken is surprised. I'm sure that eventually we'll get to the point of seeing someone run around like a horse on our TV screens, and hopefully take offence straight to the teeth. But now let us reminisce on some of the sports that somehow made it to the Olympics, but are now, very fortunately, retired. Solo synchronized swimming, a beautiful display of coordination, rhythm, and teamwork. Now remove the coordination and the teamwork, and sometimes even the rhythm. Begs the question, how exactly does one synchronize alone? Well, the options are two. You either suffer from schizophrenia and evoke yourself a partner to prance around the water with you like you're having a fight with John Cena, or you synchronize with the music instead. This was a thing from 1984 to 1992, which means it's very possible that someone violently headbanged the water to the rhythm of Born in the USA. It's not even a fun, innovative twist to it, it's just one person doesn't show up. At least add some magic to it to make it worthwhile. Instead of two people, it's one person and a Japanese spider crab. So why did it take them 3 Olympic events to remove it? Someone had a sense of humour, that's why. Next step would be to remove the adult size pool and use a kiddie one instead. Some poor sap just sat in a puddle the size of a shark's limp and floppy tail fin. Live pigeon bonking, a one-time event held in the 1900 Paris Olympics. Competitors had to bonk as many pigeons as possible, with the winner being the person that bonked the most Tweeties into the next life. The rules were simple: load it, blast it, repeat, and whoever created the biggest flocking crime scene won a medal. And the birds? Don't be silly, they don't win medals, they just get thrown on the grill. Actually, from what I can see, they didn't win a medal at all. There was a cash prize in francs instead. And to be frank, I'd have to change my name. Why didn't this sport ever see the light of day again after that? Take a wild guess, you sick Let's just say that the end result put Alfred Hitchcock to shame. There was just something not so wholesome about the sight of 300 bonked or injured pigeons hitting the ground like the Maryland cookie that I dropped this morning during breakfast. Or Lufthansa flight 5. Safe to say we've come a long way since the Paris pigeon pop-off. Just seems like it's a disaster every time Paris is in charge of the Olympics. Also, I do apologise, I am still a little bit sick. I've been sick since Easter Sunday and it's now the 3rd of May. I'm going down. This all happened because I did the clock thing, right? Monday, February 27th, 2034. That's so early. Next up, we have granny curb stomping. I'm just kidding, my ego got the better of me and I thought you'd just believe anything I say. Bowling. This is the first one on our list that was proposed but rejected. Bless him, I hope he finds someone who loves him unconditionally. It was part of a demonstration sport, which is Olympic code for your sport is the equivalent to a water slide with a surprise pool of chicken dicks at the end of it. It's so funny the way this says it was demonstrated but rejected. Like they rejected it from the start, but one sad little widower threw the ball anyway, got a strike, turned to the judges, did the Will Smith, and they said, "We know how the fucking sport works, we just all collectively agree that it's worse than season 6 episode 13 of The Walking Dead." Just imagine they put all the best athletes from the Olympics in one room at the end of the event. And right next to Summer McIntosh and Finn Butcher, you get Dave Davies from Stoke-on-Trent who got 8 strikes and a spare. Ballooning was also a thing for, once again, 1900s Olympics in Paris. While some athletes were wrestling, swimming and running, others thought there's nothing that really screams freak of nature like someone who knows how to gently hover a balloon through the sky like a majestic teat. The athletes, and I can assure you I am using that term as loosely as I possibly can, competed to fly the farthest, highest, and most accurately. Coming up next, folks, you don't want to miss it. We have the 400-meter sprint, followed by Pierre floating peacefully into Belgium. There was not a single person on the ground below looking up and thinking, fucking riveting stuff, this, innit? This was the 1900s as well. They didn't even have a pair of Oakleys to protect their retinas from the sun. How extremely disappointed would you have been to run home to your family with tickets to the Olympics, just to tell them you're going to be standing in a field and looking up at the sky like Thanos got his hands on the Space Stone again? The only way you're getting me there to stare at a bunch of overgrown squishy doorknobs is if Mr. Fredrickson is expected to float by with his fuck-off amount of balloons. Apparently they were also rated on style. I hope they mean appearance and not performing tricks and stuff. I can't imagine someone using their balloon to reenact the front cover of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. If it's based on whether someone's wicker basket looks chic or belongs in the forest with little body parts in it, it's still the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I've spoken to a Virgo before. No, I'm sorry, I retract that joke. I don't believe in zodiacs, except Cancer, which is exactly what this content is. Plunge for distance. So with this one, think of a book with a really good story. Yes, of course, you can also think of the one with the pictures. That's completely up to you. Now imagine that book had an intro and maybe half of a full plot, but then absolutely no ending whatsoever. It just suddenly stops, like a deer in the headlights. That's exactly what this sport is. You dive in the water, giving it everything you've got, because it's essentially done after that. You're not even meant to come back up. Not yet, at least. You do eventually. They don't just block off the surface of the water like a stadium when it rains. You then see how far you can just drift underwater until you surface for up to 60 seconds. That's it. You just gracefully slowly travel underwater like you've just been ejected into space. Just one big old belly flop and then a slow glide into athletic obscurity. Once they were in the water, it was like watching the logs from Frogger. Poodle clipping. Competitive dog grooming. Paris, 1900. What the hell was going on in Paris in 1900 that every man and his baguette wanted a sport? And not a bloody good one either. What's next? Gator wrestling? Hamster curling? Anyway, the event consisted of clipping the most poodles possible in 2 hours. Didn't matter if they made it out of there alive or not. If they were clipped, it counted. Flamethrowers galore. You want to go full Sweeney Todd? Let me line them up for you, pal. Apparently it was part of the Olympics as a trial event, so not an official sport, but it was later revealed to be an April Fool's prank. Still very confused on if this actually happened or not, though. Either way, check out this picture of Mike Tyson kissing a pigeon. Poetry. Let me get in the mood for this one. For 40 years, art was an event, and somehow organisers thought it was money well spent. While athletes sprinted, vaulted, swam with grace, I nervously rhymed javelin with unravelling disgrace. There was literature, painting and sculpting too, with reds, greens, yellows and 3 shades of blue. Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the games, believed in strong bodies and well-written names. He said, why not poetry? Art has a place. Then proceeded to draw a burrito in space. The rules, your poem had to be sports related. So enough about how your dad was cremated. You'd write of fencing, or rowing, or kicking a ball, and hope that no one noticed that you shouldn't be within 50 metres of a school. So you waddled back home, not a medal in sight, but at least the satisfaction of kissing your wife. But wait, you forgot you're single and alone. So instead you find comfort with a rope and a stone. Poetry at the Olympics. Strange but true, where the only doping scandal was an overdose of haiku. Running deer shooting. I loved this one. Honest to God, it was so satisfying seeing someone hit their target and obliterate it into a million pieces. Oh, the deers were fake. Probably should have started with that. Cutouts of deer would run like Wallace seeing a block of cheese, 110 yards away from the athletes, who had 2 shots at each of them. I don't think you quite understand how fast the deer were running though. They only appeared for 4 whole seconds, so very fast. Not as fast as me doing a swanton bomb though. The sport was most notable for the performance of Oscar Swan, making his Olympic debut at the age of 60 and continuing to compete until he was 72. I assume he had something to eat in between that as well. Most people around here at the age of 72 just enjoy long trips. You know, when they fall over in slow motion, land on their wrist and somehow break a butt knuckle. But anyway, that is absolutely everything I have to say about the forbidden and forgotten sports of the Olympics. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like and potentially subscribe if you have not done that already. I would very much appreciate that. Let me know in the comments if there are any other sports that I missed, maybe. I did want to do a little something on like the ancient Olympics, but there was nothing really like of major interest on it. It was very tame, so I just avoided it and spoke about the more bizarre ones of the modern day Olympics. That's it. But anyway, if you got this far, thank you very much. You are incredible. I will catch you all in the next one. I did ask about 20 seconds ago, but there's nothing wrong with asking again. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You take care of yourselves. I love you all. See you in a bit. Guys, if we hit 7,000 subscribers, how can I put this?